We all possess imperfections, limiting beliefs, biases, incorrect assumptions, and quirks that shape our individuality. Embracing these flaws as part of who we are, we acknowledge that perfection is elusive, and that's perfectly fine. Much of our development occurs unconsciously, influenced by our surroundings and chance. While this can yield positive outcomes, it also has the potential for negativity or destruction. A more effective approach involves conscious and deliberate change. By keeping our goals in mind, envisioning the person we want to become, and outlining the necessary steps, we can navigate a purposeful path forward. Stoic philosophy, enduring through the ages, provides a timeless framework for incorporating ancient wisdom into our modern lives. Its practicality and simplicity serve as a guide to cultivate resilience and construct a positive personal philosophy. Today, we'll explore 5 Stoic principles to consciously shape a path towards self-improvement and growth. Rule number 1, accept what you can and can't control. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. A fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy centers on the discernment between what lies within our control and what does not. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, articulated this principle by stating, "The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own." When we successfully grasp this distinction, we safeguard our peace of mind from the impact of external factors beyond our control. This liberation allows us to concentrate our efforts on aspects of life that fall within our sphere of influence, rendering us more resilient and effective individuals. Conversely, if we falter in this discernment, we open ourselves to the influence of external forces on our well-being. Our peace of mind becomes susceptible to chance, as our inability to differentiate between what we can change and what we must accept leads us in a direction where external factors pull us in various emotional and attention-grabbing directions. Rule number 2, accept fate. Many individuals experience considerable distress when confronted with events unfolding beyond their control, leading to suffering. Whether it's traffic, economic fluctuations, weather conditions, or the actions of others, accepting the inevitability of these events proves challenging. Regardless of the circumstances fate presents, excessive worry, anger, jealousy, or frustration cannot reverse time or alter what has transpired. Furthermore, these emotions have no influence over events that lie beyond one's control, shaping the future. In addressing this challenge, Stoics introduced the concept of amor fati, translated as the love of fate. This principle encourages individuals to embrace and accept their destiny, recognizing that resistance to uncontrollable events is futile, and that finding contentment in the face of fate contributes to inner peace. Nietzsche expressed the concept of human greatness through his words, "My formula for human greatness is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not in the future, not in the past, not for all eternity. Not only to endure what is necessary, still less to conceal it. All idealism is false in the face of necessity, but to love it." This idea urges us to refrain from resisting fate and causing ourselves unnecessary suffering. Instead, Nietzsche advocates for accepting and even loving our destiny, acknowledging that every preceding moment was crucial for our existence. The unfolding of events, from gas clouds forming planets and stars to the intricate processes fostering life, has led us to this present moment. The richness of our world, encompassing wildlife, mountains, oceans, history, and culture, is a result of this intricate tapestry. Though suffering exists, it serves a purpose, making the experience of joy, love, fear, peace, and awe more profound. Hard work precedes rest, loss enhances gratitude, and darkness accentuates the value of light. While it's natural to focus on aspects of life casting shadows on our well-being, these shadows are integral to existence. To cultivate a conscious and aware world, embracing the shadows becomes imperative, learning to love them for the growth, contrast, and opportunities they bring. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, encapsulated this mindset with his words, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy." Rule number 3, accept death. The fear of death can profoundly hinder the development of a resilient and consistent mindset, potentially preventing individuals from embracing new experiences, leaving their homes, and living in constant apprehension of life's inevitable end. This fear has the capacity to rob people of the very essence of life. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on this existential concern, imparted wisdom with his words, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The anxiety surrounding death takes various forms, from the personal fear of one's existence coming to an end to the apprehension for the safety of loved ones, leading to attempts to shield them from harm. Despite the burdensome nature of death, the Stoics introduced the principle of memento mori, the practice of acknowledging one's mortality. Contrary to being a morbid or fear-inducing exercise, it aimed to infuse life with beauty, gratitude, and fulfillment. The awareness of death serves as a catalyst for positive change. Recognizing the finite nature of experiences, such as time with friends, moments with family, shared meals, witnessing sunsets, strolls through fields, and intimate connections, fosters intense gratitude in the present. This consciousness prompts individuals to cease taking things for granted, shift focus from trivial disputes and minor annoyances, and become more intentional with their attention, recognizing it as a limited resource. Marcus Aurelius reiterated the significance of this awareness by stating, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Rule number 4, accept that your happiness is your responsibility. Eleanor Roosevelt articulated the profound influence of personal choices on our lives. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. Blame stands as a formidable obstacle to personal growth, hindering all paths of development. When we attribute our conditions, actions, or moods to others, we evade responsibility for the words, thoughts, and deeds that have positioned us where we are. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of self-reliance with his words, "If you want something good, get it from yourself." While blaming offers momentary relief by shifting fault onto external factors, it not only hampers long-term progress, but often conceals the truth. Upon reflection, there are always alternative decisions, beliefs, and actions that could have led to different outcomes. This responsibility rests solely with us, not others. Considering the Stoic perspective on control, Epictetus highlighted elements within our control. Within our power are our own opinions, aims, desires, dislikes, in sum, our own thoughts and actions. While blaming others for what resides within this sphere is possible, it proves unconstructive and misleading. Accepting responsibility is crucial for growth, as an unwillingness to do so implies a resistance to change. Over time, failure to embrace responsibility results in stagnation, perpetuating recurring challenges year after year. Ultimately, our well-being is our own responsibility. Rule number 5, accept that life is change. Emperor of Rome and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius shared insightful words on change, asserting, "Frightened of change? But what can exist without it? What's closer to nature's heart? Can you take a hot bath and leave the firewood as it was? Eat food without transforming it? Can any vital process take place without something being changed? Can't you see? It's just the same with you, and just as vital to nature." Resistance to change is a common inclination, as we gravitate toward comfort, predictability and the stability of our mental frameworks. Change often embodies the unknown and risks unsettling the familiar constructs that provide a sense of safety. Yet, change is intrinsic to the world around us, and learning to be flexible in its presence is essential to prevent breaking under its force. The more we resist change, the more we suffer as it unfolds around us. The nature of the universe is inherently dynamic, and our existence and the wonders of the world are made possible through change. Marcus Aurelius further remarked, "Accept death in a cheerful spirit, as nothing but the dissolution of the elements from which each living thing is composed." If it doesn't hurt the individual elements to change continually into one another, why are people afraid of all of them changing and separating? It's a natural thing, and nothing natural is evil. Change is neutral. It is not inherently good or bad. The perception of its goodness or badness is subjective and influenced by individual experiences. While a portion of change may bring discomfort, challenges, and difficulty, it is precisely this hardship that serves as a catalyst for growth. Epictetus aptly expressed, "What would have become of Hercules, do you think, if there had been no lion, hydra, stag, or boar, and no savage criminals to rid the world of? What would he have done in the absence of such challenges? Obviously, he would have just rolled over in bed and gone back to sleep. So by snoring his life away in luxury and comfort, he never would have developed into the mighty Hercules." So whenever you find yourself in the middle of life's challenges, accept them as they are. Accept that you can only control what you do and think and say, and look to see what can be gained from the adversity, what lessons it can hold for you, and what growth it can spark.